Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So, this is going to be a quick video. I don't know, every time I say it's going to be a quick video, it always tends to be like 5 minutes, whenever I want it to be like 3 minutes, but it's okay. So, what we're going to talk about is The Rise of Mr.Builder Part 3, and how it is not yet in production. So let me tell you, in part 2, if you haven't seen part 2, you should probably go watch that before you watch this, because I'm about to spoil the whole part 2. If you haven't even seen part 1, what are you doing here watching part 3 when you're not even watching, or when you, just go watch it. Just go watch part 2 if you haven't seen it already. But if you have seen it, then you guys know that William was killed. And, like, what I mean by killed is that, like, yeah, he was kind of, like, dead. And then, so I was freaking out, and I went into my room, and saw Daniel, which, actually, this scene was supposed to play out different, we'll get into this. This is not going to be a quick video. So, I went, and then Daniel was like, oh no, Nate's dead too. And we're like, huh. And that's where part 2 ends. Now, originally, due to William leaving, we had to switch up everything. Originally, William dying was supposed to be in part 1, but it wasn't because I was like, well, it could end. You know, part one was supposed to have a lot more in it too. Like we were actually supposed to go get Nate, or actually go talk to Nate, and Nate was gonna go like run away to the ditch, and that's why he called us, and that's why he said, "I've been thinking about what you said," and then that kind of uh, like if you don't, if you really listen to that and you're like, "I've been thinking about what you said," you'd be like, wait, is there something that he said earlier? Well, no, but whatever. So yeah, but the original part 2, we filmed a lot of it. Like, we filmed probably the first half, it was 4 minutes long. Uh, the part 1 was supposed to be 7 minutes long. The only reason why we didn't, like, keep it the original part 2 in there is because we were supposed to go get Nate, and that's the whole thing of part 2. Now, we went to the ditch, me and William, and then he kind of we got attacked by another guy, but instead of William dying, we actually beat him up, and he died, or the villain who tried to beat us up, he died. And so that was gonna kind of change the story a little bit. So we were like, whoa, I don't want to kill him. So then after that, me and William, we would have tried to run and find Nate. And instead of finding Nate, we would have found Daniel. And I was gonna have a little bit of a twist. I still might have that twist, so that's why I'm not gonna say anything. But there was Daniel. So we were like, oh, hey, but before we didn't know it was Daniel. We kind of talked around a little bit, and we were like, oh, you're Daniel. And then so we're like, whoa, well, we're trying to find Nate. And so Nate, we kind of maybe have found him at the end of our filming. Because actually, Nate came over to film once. Um, he came over to film once, and me, William, and Daniel were able to get a lot done. But that thing where he came over, he was supposed to have a part in part 4 and part 5, and we only filmed that part 1. We filmed him in part 4, and yeah. So we got you guys only seen one thing of Nate. There you go. And so, my friends have been talking to me. They're like, "Hey, I thought Jose was I thought he was, or not Jose. I thought William. He was, he was invincible. He couldn't feel pain. Then how come he screamed when Jose took the hand of William? And that's the name of the villain. His name is Jose. So what happened is that I really should have made like something in the part 2 explaining what happened. So when he grabbed William's hand, William tried to punch, and then right there, he grabbed him right here, and something right here is like, it made him lose all of his powers. So now he has no powers, and that's when he got hurt. That's when he started to get smacked, punched, harassed, and death came after him. Yeah. So for part 1 and 2, they're on a more emotional roller coaster. I intentionally did not put that much humor into part 2. Besides, after William's death, it still wasn't an appropriate time to put humor in there, like. But it wasn't really. It was humor to where it's like not busting out laughing. If you somehow found the way to cry during William's death, which I don't think you should have, because I didn't make it. I wanted to make it emotional, but I was wanting the punch to come later. So yeah, I only wanted a chuckle out of him in the Spider-Man mask, and that was actually his idea, but it was all fine. It was all good. Then when Daniel revealed the news that Nate was dead, I wanted everyone's jaw to drop. Didn't necessarily want them to cry, but then I just wanted jaws dropping. And I don't think that happened, but you know, I have to execute better next time I try that. So, you know, now you've been wondering, well, when's part 3 gonna come out? Because now I'm really interested in what's gonna happen, because that villain's still on the loose. Van is still on the loose. So, part 3, I wanted to film this weekend. Right now it's as of Saturday. I wanted to film this weekend, but unfortunately, due to Daniel having to go places we can't. But it's okay, because it gives me a lot of time to think about part 3. Because part 1 was expedition. Part 2 was like it was like, whoa, that's how it is. And part 3, I kind of wanted to keep that momentum going, because after part 3, we are sad. I can't keep momentum going like this, so I'm just gonna have to like keep it like that, which is pretty manageable. That was a voice crack. I apologize. So yeah, part 3. When will it come out? My goal is. Let me look at the calendar real quick. I'm looking at the calendar. Today's 15th. Okay. So next weekend is the week before Thanksgiving. Do I wish we can get it done before Thanksgiving? I wish we can film before Thanksgiving. It might come out, like, I don't know. This is supposed to be like a summer movie thing. I don't want any holidays getting in the way, but if we have to do that, then we will. Cause I would like putting Thanksgiving into it. I've never done something Thanksgiving or holiday themed around this channel, so yeah, it might be a great thing. I want part 5 to be released like early December, somewhere in December. It's not coming early, but I want you guys to get the full rise of Mr. Builder, all of it by December. And yeah, so instead of me planning out what's gonna happen, now I'm just gonna take it part by part. And part 3, I got a pretty good idea. You guys are gonna like part 3. Part 1 was the weakest one, because I still didn't know where I was going to take this movie. Now I know exactly where I'm going to take it because of part 2. Just part 3 will take a little while for me to. Part 3 is always the hardest from the beginning. Like, me and William were planning like what we wanted to happen, but we didn't plan actors yet, or we didn't hire actors yet. We just kind of like, here's what we want, here's what we want to happen, here's who we want to play. And yeah, so part 1 and part 2 did not go according to plan. Part 1 kind of did. Part 1 is the only one that followed our original plan. Part 2, take that paper and just throw it right out the window, because starting from part 2, nothing is gonna be the same. Yeah, part 3, we were thinking, we were like, okay, this is gonna happen. Once we got our actors, no, that didn't happen. Simple as that. But I will leave you guys there. I'll see you guys later. Because now I got to, now it's got me thinking. See you guys later. Bye, I guess. No, that's not a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to carry you guys with me for a second so I can say bye. Bye.